anything else from the? I'm trying to think that the games yesterday and the games today. I mean, there's a lot of backup quarterbacks out there, Clark. A lot of backup quarterbacks and rookies still. Um, so far this season. I thought,
I got to give the Vikings and the Bengals a lot of credit. I mean, they're
yep.
still like the Bengals won that game, but I mean, they're still being competitive with. I mean, what the Vikings started the year with Kirk Cousins, and then they went to Josh Dobbs, and now they're on to Nick Mullins, and they're and now Jake Browning with the Bengals. They're still competing.
Yeah, that was a fun game. And it's kind of like we reached the point in the season where it's like we got these two teams and we know they're not going to go anywhere, but it's kind of fun to see what happens. Pittsburgh looks pretty terrible. You want to talk about the opposite of getting it done with a quarterback? That was horrific. I didn't, to be honest, I didn't expect much more from Trubisky than what they got, but yeah, that's awfully disturbing. Like, you lose Kenny Pickett, who's average, and that torpedoes your team. Like, that's a bit disturbing for a team with that many good players. I thought Detroit, Detroit getting back in the saddle there. Obviously they're a different team at home or indoors than they are outdoors, and I think we can, I think we can now see what Denver is. Like, Denver is, they've done a great job to, salvage their season and put some good stuff together. But, Denver certainly isn't going anywhere, especially this year. And that Russell Wilson contract, Clark. I mean, every time I watch Russell Wilson, I just think to myself, $50 million a year for this. $50 million a year. And I think that's what kind of got me thinking about the whole Tua conversation, was just going, really? That's what, that's what we're doing here? And, I think Denver's going to be talking about getting rid of him after the season's over, to be honest with you, because I don't know how you can survive, with that weight on your team. But, maybe they don't care. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, now that being said, like, I've been pretty critical of people praising Russell Wilson. Look, I don't think Russell Wilson's a bad quarterback either. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I think he's doing what he should be doing on that team. He's giving you what he's got, and Sean Payton's getting the most out of him. But again, when you're paying that guy top dollar, you're not getting top performance. There's just severe limits as to what you can do. I feel like I'm talking about Tua again, but
yeah, I mean, look, you have to understand, like, people. You have to understand with Russell Wilson. You watch him throughout this season as he's played better as the season goes on. But how do you define better? Because basically it's been, okay, he'll throw some deep balls, and his deep ball's still pretty nice, and then he'll kind of run for some first downs, and then he'll kind of make some stuff happen off script. But it's not like their offense is just, moving up and down the field really quickly and just scoring a bunch of points. Like, they're not doing that. So you have to wonder, like, do you really want to be paying that guy $50 million a year? By the way, what did you think about Sean Payton absolutely ripping into Russell Wilson on the sideline? Did you see that?
I missed that part. I missed the end of the game, so I didn't get to see that.
But I thought, well,
they were getting blown out, so I'm not sure what he was.
There was like a false start or was it off? No, I guess it must have been a false start on, like, they had a formation where it was like there was a back behind Russell Wilson, and then there was another guy, like a tight end, to his right, and the tight end moved a little bit before the snap, and so then that took away a touchdown. And I don't know if there was something different that Russell Wilson was supposed to call, because Sean Payton on the sidelines was just, I mean, he was ripping, he was screaming at him. I mean, it's just kind of, I'm laughing. It's just because you don't really see that anymore in professional sports. Like, you just don't. That's an old school thing, and Sean Payton is an old school guy. You don't see that anymore. Coaches don't just like Andy Reid will, like, maybe bark at people a little bit, but it's just kind of, you just know, like, he doesn't need to say much. He's mad, or he wants you to calm down. Sean Payton he'll just rip into you. It's like when Russell Wilson got the ball got stripped away from him when they were playing the Jets.
Right.
He's like, throw the ball away. Like, what? So I did think
Yeah.
that was interesting.
Yeah, that's an interesting watch for the offseason to see how they handle it, because there's no way I believe, like, Russell Wilson is so
Yeah.
far from the typical quarterback you would want to run Sean Payton's system, that I don't see how that's going to be good long term. I don't think Russell fits into what Sean Payton wants to do. I was what else was I? Oh, so how?